April 25th, 2015. A big earthquake ravages my home country, Nepal, killing over 9,000 people and leaving millions without shelters. It was a natural disaster that shocked the world, and I'll never forget what I witnessed. I, along with my friends, rushed to the most affected areas where people were buried. I joined a group of young people who were digging for bodies, hoping to rescue those who were still alive inside the rubble. Many dead bodies were pulled out, and most of them were crushed beyond recognition. To escape the falling buildings, I was forced to live outside in an open field along with my family members. When we arrived on the field, I saw an old lady. She was in a state of fear because we were experiencing aftershocks over and over again. When it began to rain, the old lady was completely exposed. I looked at her terrified face, and I felt deeply moved. What could I possibly do to help her? I started gathering pieces of bamboo and some of the trash that had been discarded out on the field, and then I began to make shelter for her. Once she had some protection from the small structure that I had built, I saw a sense of security return to her face, and that remained a great source of motivation for me. Soon afterwards, I was approached by one of my American friends, Caleb Spear, who came up with the idea of Portable Shelters Project. I knew providing shelters in the aftermath of the earthquake was critical, so I agreed to work with him. The first shelter that we built turned out to be a complete failure, but through trial and error, we managed to make our first working model. At first, we built over 100 shelters, and after that, we were supported by over 130 organizations and individuals. With their donations and help, we were able to build over 5,300 shelters that housed over 26,000 earthquake victims. Thank you. I got an opportunity to pursue my higher education in the United States, and during my time there, I was constantly wondering, what could I possibly do to help people of my home country, Nepal? Thanks to my father, I learned at a young age to become a machinist and a welder, and I even ran a manufacturing business for a few years before pursuing my higher education. After doing some research, I realized that over 30,000 classrooms in Nepal had been destroyed, which directly affected thousands of young people. There are a lot of students in my home country, Nepal, who are much more deserving at higher education than I am, but somehow I've been able to get this opportunity to pursue my higher education. So I feel a great need to give back. As a student of mechanical engineering, I began to focus my attention on how I might use innovation as a way to help poor people at home in Nepal have better chances in life. So I came up with the idea of rebuilding schools using earthquake-resistant technology. Instead of traditional building methods used in Nepal, these schools will be built with interlocking bricks that can stand up the earthquake tremors. I started raising funds, and earlier this summer, I was able to put my machining skills to use and build my first school using interlocking brick machinery. Thank you. 25 Nepalese primary school students whose previous classroom had been completely destroyed by earthquake have now been able to resume their education in a safe environment. And now I'm working towards making earthquake-resistant technology more scalable so that more schools can be built strong enough to withstand future earthquakes. I believe that education offers the best pathway out of poverty, but no child can study when their classroom is at risk of falling down around them. It is only through innovation building methods that we can give Nepalese students, children's opportunities, the opportunity to study without fear, and opportunity to create themselves a better future. Thank you very much.